Every time you look at a map, you must have noticed the different colors that represent different things. Green represents vegetation, brown represents dry land, and the most obvious one, blue, represents water. Much of the Earth's water is believed to be as old as its rocks, both of which having formed during the Earth's early days. Because of Earth's unique distance from the Sun, the planet is able to contain water in all its forms: liquid, ice, and gas, the largest of which accumulates in oceans. Covering about 70% of Earth's total surface, in reality the planet has one huge global ocean. Oceanographers and the nations of the world, however, divided it into distinct geographical regions. Therefore, everyone now knows there are 5 oceans in total: the Atlantic, the Pacific, the Southern, the Indian, and the Arctic Oceans. The world has, however, in recent years been on the front row seat to something incredibly rare. Scientists, tourists, and everyone who loves general knowledge has been treated by Mother Nature to something hardly noticeable but incredibly profound, which takes millions of years to create: the formation of the world's newest ocean. To understand how this 6th ocean is forming, we have to go to one of the hottest places on Earth thanks to its numerous active volcanoes. Along an arid stretch of East Africa's Afar region in Ethiopia, it's possible to stand on the exact spot where deep underground the continent of Africa is splitting apart. This desolate expanse sits atop a juncture of 3 tectonic plates that are very slowly peeling away from each other. A complex geological process that scientists say will eventually separate Africa in 2 and create a new ocean basin. For now, the most obvious evidence is a 60-kilometer or 35-mile long crack in the Ethiopian desert. How did it start? On September 14, 2005, there was an earthquake in the Afar area. It wasn't very strong, but it was the first of many. Over the next 12 days, there were over 100 more quakes, most of them also relatively small. Then on September 26th, a nearby volcano called Dabahu erupted. This was its first eruption in recorded history, and it came from a flat part of the volcano a few kilometers from the summit. The eruption opened up a gigantic crack on the Earth's surface, which grew to 60 kilometers long and as much as 8 meters wide in only 10 days. And as you can probably imagine, this caught the world's attention. Hot molten rock from within the Earth has been trickling to the surface and creating the split. Underground eruptions are still continuing, and ultimately the Horn of Africa will fall away and a new ocean will form. Geologists say that we are extremely lucky to be able to witness the birth of this ocean, as the process is normally hidden beneath the seas. The African continent's tectonic plates movements have been studied for several decades, but recent cracks on the Earth's surface are offering valuable tools to study the gradual birth of a new ocean in one of the most geologically unique spots on the planet. Tectonic plates are huge rocky slabs of Earth's lithosphere, that is its crust and upper mantle. The plates are constantly in motion, shifting against each other, falling beneath one another, crashing against one another, and tearing apart from each other. This interaction of tectonic plates is responsible for many different geological formations, such as the Himalaya Mountains range in Asia, the East African Rift, and the San Andreas Fault in California, United States. The increased volcanic activity, as well as the crack, was just one of the latest symptoms of an ongoing tectonic shakeup in Africa that's eventually going to rip the continent into 2, leading to the creation of the brand new ocean. According to geologists, this is the only place on Earth where you can study how continental rifts become oceanic rifts. It's thought that Africa's new ocean will take at least 5 million to 10 million years to form, and people would require a boat to travel from Uganda to Somalia. The smaller continent will include present-day Somalia and parts of Kenya, Ethiopia, and Tanzania, while the bigger one will include everything else. As it happens, landlocked countries such as Uganda and Zambia will finally get their own coastlines. What name do you propose is given to the new ocean? African Ocean, Somali Ocean, or Alkebulan Ocean? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The Earth's surface may seem motionless most of the time, but it's actually always moving, ever so slowly, at a scale that is difficult for humans to perceive. For the past 30 million years, the Arabian Plate has been moving away from Africa, a process that created the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden between the two once connected land masses. This crack was caused by the separation of three tectonic plates: the African Nubian Plate, which is slowly headed to the northwest, the Somali Plate, which is slowly headed southeast towards the Indian and Australian plates, and the Arabian Plate, which is slowly headed north towards the Eurasian Plate, where it will eventually close the Persian Gulf. This area where the plates meet is called the Afar Triple Junction. Each of these plates is moving away at different rates, with the Arabian Plate moving away at 2.5 centimeters per year and the other two at about 1 centimeter per year. The result is the Great Rift Valley, which stretches more than 3,000 kilometers through the eastern part of the continent. Rift valleys are sites where a continental landmass is ripping itself apart. Africa, for example, will eventually split along the Great Rift Valley system. What is now a single continent will emerge as two, one on the main African plate and the other on the smaller Somali plate. The new Somali continent will be mostly oceanic, with the Horn of Africa and Madagascar as its largest landmasses. Rifts are the initial stage of a continental breakup, and if successful, can lead to the formation of a new ocean basin. An example of a place on Earth where this has happened is the South Atlantic Ocean, which resulted from the breakup of South America and Africa millions of years ago. Ever noticed how their coastlines march like pieces of the same puzzle? The Rift Valley is a system of several fractures that began forming at different times, and it's home to lots of seismic activity. The pressure from tons of magma bubbling up is what leads to earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, like what happened in 2005 in the Afar region. The two major Rift Valley systems of the East African Rift are the Gregory Rift and the Western Rift. These rift valleys are dotted by volcanoes: El Tael in Ethiopia, Mount Kenya in Kenya, Oldonyo Lengai and Mount Kilimanjaro, both in Tanzania, and Mount Nyiragongo in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Western Rift includes many of the African Great Lakes. It is one of the most biodiverse regions in Africa, featuring a narrow corridor of highland forests, snow-capped mountains, savannas, and chains of some of the deepest lakes in the world. The East African Rift system is the key to the new ocean, and it stretches from the Afar region of Ethiopia down to Mozambique. Essentially, once the plates move far enough apart, they'll form a big crack which will allow magma to flow up from beneath them, where it will cool and create a new ocean floor, continuing until Africa has split into Africa and Africa 2.0. The map of Africa is going to have a lot more blue in it. The East African Rift is unique in that it allows us to observe different stages of rifting along its length. To the south, where the rift is young, extension rates are low and faulting occurs over a wide area. Here, volcanism and seismic activities are limited. Towards the Afar region, however, the entire Rift Valley floor is covered with volcanic rocks. This suggests that in this area, the Earth's crust has thinned almost to the point of complete breakup. When this happens, a new ocean will form by the solidification of magma in the space created by the broken up plates. Eventually, over a period of tens of millions of years, seafloor spreading will progress along the entire length of the rift. Water from the Red Sea and Indian Ocean will flood in, and as a result, form the new ocean. It is extremely unlikely that any of us will get to see the new ocean. So don't grab your surfing gear yet. The process has been happening slowly for about 10 million years, and the rift is only widening at an average speed of a couple of centimeters a year. Our desire to inspire a passion for learning about Africa runs deep. If you'd like to get a better understanding of the continent, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and you'll be on your way. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.